My name is Roberto Rosales. I am a part-time instructor here at UNM, and I'm also a professional photographer who works throughout the state. Right now I'm freelancing for many agencies, including Associated Press, Getty Images, Suma Press, and anyone who dares to hire me. So I cover everything, including breaking news, politics, immigration, which I specialize in, and general news for that matter. I'm an immigrant from El Salvador, but after living in this country for many, many years, I realized that the people telling stories about immigration did not exactly represent who these people were. Being bilingual, that gave me an opportunity and an advantage of really getting to interview and getting to know exactly what the root of the problems were. So I started at another school in Maryland, which was Montgomery College. I started out taking my beginner's photo courses there, and then they suggest I transfer to the University of New Mexico, which I did. I got a bachelor's there. And so I was doing fine art photography, but my calling came when documentary photography was an option, and so I started going that route. After that, I came back to school many years later and got my master's degree in art education. There was an organization downtown near Barelas neighborhood called Working Classroom. I volunteered there for many years in the beginning of my career here in New Mexico, but it goes beyond that. It goes to looking at youngsters who need just a little bit of guidance. Well, they basically take inner city kids, mainly minorities, and they teach through arts, just values, and elements of just how to survive. It's a wonderful program, probably the best program in the city. But when I started working with them, I would volunteer and offer workshops, photo workshops. Maybe they were a week long, maybe 2 weeks long, or maybe they were just an afternoon where we would go out and shoot and learn how to document the community. At one point, I did a year-long program with them, and I think I had about 9 or 10 students. And what we did is we learned what it was like to document your own family, your own community, through film photography. And so I would teach them how to expose, develop film, print film, and eventually we had a big old exhibit, and it was such a great success. Don't go into a scene just taking photos. Put the camera down. Knowing the ability of when to put the camera down and when to talk, that's more important than knowing photography. So how do you ask questions? How do you communicate with someone? How do you get to know somebody's world? The fact that you have a camera hanging around you, you have to understand that that's your little passport to get into somebody's life, understanding who they are, where they come from. But you have to take advantage of that. And it not always means you have to have the camera up to your eye. It's better to talk and shoot later than vice versa. Get in the habit of creating a physical portfolio. Maybe a little zine, a magazine, booklet. Put in a variety of things. Portraits. Always put portraits in there, because that way you show that you have the ability to communicate with people. maybe a little bit of documentary, or a very important aspect of having something in your portfolio would be a photo essay or a long-term story. Photo essays tell the editor, hey, this is how I see a story over a period of time. So it really shows the editor how you see things. And just remember this, that if I'm an editor and I'm looking at your work digitally, I'm not going to spend a lot of time looking at everything you have in your website. I'm going to look at who you are in the first 10 images. Your first 10 images tells me more about you than the rest of your portfolio. So how do you go about selecting the images that best describe what you do, who you are, and what you're all about? That's kind of hard, but blend it, mix it. And one of the best things I tell people when it comes to portfolio is include images of people, especially people, even events, who represent people who don't look like you. Make your portfolio as diverse as you are. If you're going to be a professional, especially as a minority, there's no way that you can go forward without looking back and sharing your knowledge and helping people that need role models within that minority community in order to get courage to go forward, to look at what they can do, explore their avenues, and explore their talent. And so this is where I come in. I give them a chance to look at the talent and look at how they can go about contributing to their own community and look into the future. How do you come back and document your own community? Why let other people tell your stories when you can do so yourself?